Good morning. How is everyone this morning? I hope everyone is doing well. I get this all crooked, don't I? Yeah, I know. Set your stuff up first, then go live. Never seem to do everything the right order. There we go. And yes, you were just looking at a wall. You're waiting on me. Finish getting my coffee ready. Not feeling well. Oh, that's not good. I wasn't feeling all that great yesterday at all. Started the day before yesterday, but yesterday I really wasn't feeling very good. Feel a lot better this morning, but let's see. We're going to find guest invite. See if somebody wants to come up on the panel. Chit chat. It's early in the morning, so most people don't like chit chatting this early. I seem to get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock every morning now. So I'm definitely ready to chit chat. Oh wow, look at that. St. Shine. The ones from Buds and Hazard, they're like reflective in the camera. So what are you up to, Lil Wolf? How are you? I'm sorry, I missed most of the live stream, that last one you did. Um, for some reason, I had to go do something or whatever. I had to get off of the or out of the chat, and I missed the rest of it. But I was there for a little while. Which is pretty good considering I really don't watch a lot of videos anymore. I have been here lately, for last week since Selena's gone to Oklahoma. I really don't. Uh, I don't like being here with no one to talk to. I got Bubba here, but that's not always the funnest conversations. Let's see what this to. And we say we change the brand again. There we go. Crazy squirrel up there. I wonder if notifications went out. Yeah, everybody's been telling me that they don't get notifications for it anymore. And I don't know. Maybe it's because I go through StreamYards. I don't know. But uh, I've noticed that it takes the first 20 or 30 minutes of a video uh, before people start getting notifications and coming in. If anybody else is having the same problem with StreamYards and have figured out why it does that, please tell me, because I have no earthly idea. And I can't figure out why I can't do live on Facebook. I mean, YouTube, because every time I do a live stream on YouTube, if you notice it buffers half the time, well, on my end, it just keeps kicking me out. I mean, it'll let me sit there and talk for maybe a minute, minute and a half or whatever, and then it will kick me out. I have no idea. At the time, if I walk away from the camera, then I don't realize that it's buffering, and on y'all's end, all y'all get is buffer. I hadn't figured that one out either. Something's wrong with my phone, I think. Digger, wow, haven't seen you around in a while. Well, no, I seen you in I don't know whose chat that was. Stella's baby looks great. Congratulations, you're uh, doing good with that. The guitars are awesome. You kind of disappeared from the community there for a while. uh, after battling people, battling trolls, and finally giving in and just kind of ignoring them and stuff. That one there was he gave me a run for my money big time. He the whole Slab City and Mike Dibble and all of that stuff. He he was one of the craziest trolls I ever seen. But he seems to uh, step back this year. Well, that's wonderful. Yeah, I seen you step back. I stepped back for quite a little while there, and quit doing videos and stuff myself. Got away from it. All the negativity got kind of got to me. Not that it got to me. I don't know. I didn't want to. Wasn't interested. It just anyway. Yeah, we are all doing great. I hope you're doing wonderful yourself. Good morning, Stony. How are you? Yeah, Digger, whenever you let's see, but you're looking at one point you were looking for other songs to look into. I've got a song I'd love to I absolutely love to hear different people's takes on the song. You know how being in negative space every day becomes overwhelming. Yeah, it's not good for a person. Yeah, exactly. And it was hindering my walk with God. It really was. And when I got rid of the negativity, and I was able to get closer, and now the negativity doesn't bother me anymore. I look past it. It's love the sinner, not the sin. You understand what I mean? But anyhow, I would love to send you a video if you get dig up my email and maybe email me or something. I'd love to send you a video of. I've had a few people that have attempted it, and I like different versions of the song. So I'll send you a copy of the song. It'd be awesome if you. Everybody I know that plays, I'd try to ask them, and if they're gracious enough to do it, then hey, it makes my day. So you want to make my day, figure out that song and just play it for me once. But I'll send it to you if you email me. Gearing up for it to be 110. 110. Wow. I'd hate 110 here. Man, it gets up to 90, 95, getting close to there, and here it's bad. Well, Ray Bolt sings a song, "The Anchor Holds." I never did like his version. His version of it is really slow, but I love the song. I love the words to the song. It truly has meaning in my own life. I mean, very, very significant meaning in my own life. But the way that Ray Boltz did it was brilliant. Was beautiful, and he is an exceptional singer. But I just don't care for the how it's slower and it drags out. Now another guy, Kevin Cassidy, he did it. He did it a little bit faster, just enough to put the tempo up a little bit, and it turned out spot on for me. He has some videos on YouTube. It's it's Kevin Cassidy, or yeah, Cassidy. Kevin Cassidy. The Anchor Holds. He also sings. You'll see it's a guy there, play guitar. He's got a wooden entertainment center over here, one of the big entertainment centers with a big screen. The older big screen, the old silver ones that were big console ones, has some lighthouses and stuff up on the shelf. But but anyway, 62% humidity. Oh my goodness, that's bad. But anyhow, that he has so far he has done it the best way that I have ever seen. And you know, I have no singing ability whatsoever, but I sing that song every day, probably 10, 15 times a day. I put my headphones in. That's what I do to occupy my while I'm doing some of this other stuff. I like listening to good music and praises, and also listen to a lot of sermons and speeches and things like that. But I listen to that probably. It's on several of my playlists, and I listen to it probably at least 4 or 5 times a day, if not way more. Um, and I just absolutely love the song, and I've had a few people that have done different versions of it, and I think it's cool because you can put your own spin to it. You can put it at a different tempo and put your own spin to that song. It has enough of the longer notes that you can actually cut down, and I've seen them cut the longer notes down to the parts where he really bellers it out, and cut it down and actually add other stuff to it, and it's really neat song. So my singing's pretty horrible. Oh, yeah, that would be off the charts. I love the guitars, by the way. I would love to learn how to play guitar, but I don't know. I've had several guitars, and I just never. I don't know. My mind works too fast. It's constantly going. Yeah, crazy. Anyway, so um, hold on just a second. What do you think? Mhm. Trying to warm up, I might get the fan going and get air circulation here. Yeah. Mm. So to warm up in here already. Yeah, but anyway, so what should we talk about this morning? Anybody want to come up on the panel and help me find content? There you go. There's the link. If anybody wants to jump up, y'all warm up. Uh, I think today I'm gonna mainly probably work in the garden some. I'm gonna plant them bush beans that I keep wanting to call them lost dog that Dog Pound sent me. Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, I bet y'all been in a bad heat wave. Sean's down in your neck of the woods, Digger, and he said it was getting pretty warm out there. I think that daggum dog got fleas. Judy, I'm gonna have to get some flea stuff for her. Is that right? She laid down right here. I let her in last night. She laid down right here, uh, down here, but beside the bed area, and some eat my daggum feet up. Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna be doing is pulling weeds out of some of the. I've got to get some of the weeds away from some of the plants, and um, gotta let's see. I gotta need need to plant them bush beans early this morning. My watermelons are forming. There is, let's see, 5 watermelons so far that have started. So the watermelon plants are doing awesome. No cantaloupes have come up yet, but the cantaloupe plants are vining out wonderfully. The peppers, I've got so many peppers and cherry tomatoes and regular tomatoes that I don't know what to do with all of them. And I've still got more plants that are coming up and fixing to start going. All right, you have a great day yourself, buddy. But we planted pumpkin seeds, I don't know, a week or two ago. We planted them a little late, but we planted them over there, and they sprouted like 3 days before they were even supposed to. And they're filling out. They're quite good size now. And I also put, just to try it, I tried the same post hole idea. Well, mainly because that's about all I got to work with. I don't have a tiller, and I don't have a lot of things I need to get, but I tried to deal on some corn, and believe it or not, I've got corn that's, I don't know, about this tall already. So it seems to be working so far. We'll see how it works once it gets to full size. What we're doing is, I seen a homesteader that was just making like post holes, and about 8 to 10 inches deep or so, and putting potting soil in it. And supposedly what it does is the pot and the roots will grow up around the edge of it when it gets up close to the regular dirt, and it'll start farming just like it does in the smaller pots. Only normally when you would transplant it, about time the roots are getting bigger and need to start spreading out, they are strong enough to start going through the dirt. Supposedly, it makes sense a little bit, but then again, I think that the dirt would be too compact for the roots to actually go through too much. Is my thinking on it, but so far everything's working good. We'll see what kind of harvest we have this year. Let's see what else. The pigs are getting huge. The turkey's trying to fly. He's getting pretty big. The ducks are at full size now. The goat is learning how to headbutt. Yeah, that's that's been fun. He's learning how to headbutt, and since we have him on a runner, you know, the ones with the pulley that goes back and forth and it gives them, a dog runner. Since we have him on a dog runner, he is stretching to the end of his line, trying to get the plants that are kind of out of reach. So he's having to pull on the line really, really hard, and he is building up his muscles in the front of him, and you can already start seeing his muscles building up. So he is going to be. I think he is going to be one massive billy goat. Right now, with the head button, seeing how he's only about knee high, of course, your knees are what he goes for. And Bubba's over there laughing. Yep, that's the first thing he goes for. He's already took my knee out from under me about 2 or 3 times. So that's been fun. The pigs, man, I dread every time I got to get in the pen with them. They're not mean at all. They're nice as can be. Only they're extremely playful, and they play a little too rough. They're they don't play fair, especially when you're trying to climb over the fence, and one of them literally grabs the back of your ankle and causes you to slip going over the fence, and you end up face first, face planting into the ground. That sucked. Zoe did it. That's what it almost put her at number 1 on the list of the first one to hit the chopping block. Leonard and Skinner. Cool. Oh man, I got motorcycle helmets out there in the shop. What if I put a motorcycle helmet on and start headbutting them? What happened?
Oh,
That'd be funny.
yeah.
Only bad thing about it is he'd go after somebody that ain't got a helmet on and end up cracking somebody's head.
He goes in
Instead of a watchdog, we got a watchgoat.
He goes in circles around me now. I did that yesterday. I went around in circles, and when I was playing, he went in circles like I did.
If he goes in circles around you, then he's gonna wrap the lead around you.
I headbutt at my head forward against his head.
Oh.
Push him, and he goes in a circle. Because he's smart goat though.
You're out there purposely headbutting them?
Not headbutting. Only like
without a helmet? You got a rude awakening coming, dude. I'm telling you, they're sneaky though. As soon as they think that your attention is gone, they'll rear their hair back, and all they need is about that much room of rearing their head back, and they'll thump you. You're gonna have a headache.
I
guarantee you.
I push them like with my head.
But anyway. Yeah, that'd be cool. Grab a helmet out and see what he does. See if he hits it hard. I know he took my knee out from under me the other day. Oh my God. I was so mad. I was out there and I think I told you that's what happened with the slick ground. He tried to headbutt me. I was trying to get him unraveled. They weren't large goats. Now he's what they call a boar goat, or they're the big meat goats, and his dad, or I think goats they call them sires, but his dad is massive. I mean that goat was intimidating to look at, much less getting a pen with. I wasn't getting in a pen with that goat. That was a big, massive goat. And his horns, they come back and then they curl back. Yeah, I wasn't getting in a pen with that one. No way. Yeah, they're funny animals. They're also extremely nasty. Very, very nasty. Oh my goodness. Well, all billy goats do that crap. All billy goats do that weird crap. So, so what else is going on in the neighborhoods? In case you're wondering, that means communities. Like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, full of crazy puppets. It is. Our community is similar to Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. You got the one guy coming in talking all nice and everything, but he's talking to a bunch of crazy puppets. People that are mimicking others and, yeah, crazy puppets. I know, I shouldn't have that outlook on the community sometimes, but I mean, come on, man. Anyway, and you see some of the craziest, weirdest, funniest arguments in this community. But we gotta love it. We've all become fairly good friends, family, if you will. I call my close friends family, so. Everybody thinks families are only hereditary. Not hereditary, I mean bloodlines. No, they're not. Nope. I have a big family bloodline. Oh, speaking of bloodlines, uh, inside drama. Um, yeah, exactly. Speaking of bloodlines, I got talking to my grandma, and I keep reopening the search, trying to figure out my mom. My mom, for the longest time, was trying to prove our Indian heritage. Um, we have quite a bit of Indian in us. And so when she passed, I was asked several times by others in the family, why hasn't anybody else tried to look this up or anything? Because, um, you know, mom started kind of sliding away from the stuff because she was hitting brick walls with trying to figure it all out. And so, but now everything is more advanced and you can find out more things. In fact, I found out more about my ancestry than I ever knew from even talking with family in a matter of about 30, 45 minutes looking up these names that I found and that I found now. But I get talking to grandma and come to see my grandpa, um, Mr. Doles, um, a very well-known guy. Uh, he was nicknamed Lion King, and I knew all of this. You know, this is not stuff that I don't already know. But anyway, he raised lions and panthers and big cats. And back then, you used to be able to have a stage, and they'll have the lion or whatever, or a tiger or whatever it is. They'll have it chained up in a laid down position on top of the stage, and you can go up there and actually get up next to it and pet it while they take a picture of you. And oh yeah, I bet the DNA testing's got to be cool. But anyhow, you know, so I figure, like anybody else would think, probably y'all are thinking too, well, that's definitely where your Indian background must have come from. So I've been looking on grandpa's side the whole time. Nobody told me that the Indians that are in our family, the Indian heritage that's in our family, is traced through grandma. Well, I found that out, and about 5 seconds after that, I was tuned into another little clue that was really cool. I had no earthly idea that because for some reason I thought her maiden name was something different, and it's a really strange name. But my grandmother's maiden name was Donahoe. And yes, it is exactly the way it sounds, Donahoe. Anyhow, come to find out, it's that side of it. And now I've researched her mom and dad, and I'm getting pretty close. I'm not close enough yet, but um, I honestly I think within the next month or two I might actually get close enough to start filing for roll numbers and stuff. I firmly believe I am. I'm determined. I'm going to figure this out. And I'm not smart when it comes to these computers, especially not no DNA testing and all of that stuff. I'm not smart when it comes to all of that. I'm not even going to act like I am. I I barely know how to work a computer, but this is something that mom started, and she would never mess with computers. She never messed with computers, so she made it as far as she did without a computer. Now we have the ability of using computers and databases and all of that to figure all of this out. So I have high hopes of picking up where mom left off, and hopefully, because if I'm able to do this and I'm able to figure it out, this is going to affect that whole side of the family, because the whole side of the family, none of them, none of them has been able to get that all figured out. So this is definitely going to affect everybody. And if we can get registered in and stuff, it'll help out quite a bit too. The Indians really help their own quite a bit. They are very, very, very adamant about family and bloodlines. They're very, very proud of the bloodlines, and which they should be. I mean, they are the very ancestors of this country. Like it or not, this country did not start with Christopher Columbus. It started with the Indians. They were here first. So they are very, very proud of um, the family and the names and their heritage. And it's probably one of the reasons why I'm so adamant about finding out more about it, because I believe there is major significance in your bloodline. Knowing what your bloodline is and where you come from is just it's not necessary for life, but it's icing on the cake. If you know what I mean? It's really nice to know. It's cool. It's knowing where you come from and what type of people you come from, and what they've done, whether it be good or bad. It's always it's always worth it to know. Might not want the answers once you get them. You'd be like, I didn't need to know that. But some people. But um, nevertheless, it is cool to know. So sorry, I got other projects going. I'm trying to do right now.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Especially for you and the younger ones. I mean, the younger ones in the family be able to trace that back. Because see, a lot of people have gotten literally have gotten lazy in doing any of that, and now it's kind of lost. Nobody really worries too much about their background.
We were.
You know, which so I don't really worry about the background, but I am really curious. Oh wow, cool. That would be really neat. Yeah, it is exciting. And honestly, it's I'm taking it very serious because I look at it as honoring my mom. That was one thing that she was very adamant about trying to find out, trying to figure out. You know, I've followed her studies when it comes to the Bible. I followed that and finally got out of my own ways and started living a life that she would be proud of. And you know, and then so why wouldn't I want to finish her work on our gen, geniality? Is that the right way to say that? Geniality? Is there a genie in it? Like a genie in a bottle type? Is that how it's said? Genie and something like that. But anyway, so uh, yeah, I didn't know my grandmother's maiden name. I've always called her Grandma Blondie. I never knew anything. Her middle name's Blondell. Oh, somebody else wanted to join the conversation. Let's see who we got. Mr. Jose Sanders. How are you?
Hi.
How you doing?
You miss me?
I miss you.
No,
Yeah,
nobody ever
okay.
misses me.
If it makes you feel better, then sure, yeah.
I'm unmissable.
You're what? You're unmissable?
Yep.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You're asking a person that you hardly ever talk to. Very seldom you
Hold up.
seldom ever talk to if I miss you. I don't know nothing about you.
Mine neither.
Except for what I see on the videos and stuff. But I've learned something about that. People aren't people on YouTube aren't the same when they're not on YouTube.
Oh hell yeah! I learned that about a Good Job Buddy in a heartbeat. I'm like, holy shit! But I did have a blast with his family, though. I'm not gonna take that away.
I can't understand them. What'd you say?
I said I had a blast with Good Job Buddy's family, but
Oh yeah,
I'm
They're-
not going to take that away. Not one bit.
yeah, yeah. They're cool people.
Yeah, well, Eddie isn't.
Uh, Eddie's hard to take. Eddie's just hard to take. Me and him was on the outs for quite a little while. He kept on doing the wanting to do the interviews, and he took it too far. And we were on the outs for quite a while. I mean, I had no problem with him or anything, but obviously we didn't talk for the longest because of that. He's just hard to take. That's what I've realized. I don't let it bother me. He, just, now everybody's got something to say, whether it's positive or negative. I just listen to the positive and ignore the negative. But yeah, the family's awesome.
Yeah.
Can you go the whole day without saying the negative?
But I'll tell you what, though.
What's that?
I think, no offense to anybody that's a content creator, but this is my last time going to a content creator's house.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, two fuck ups is enough.
they're not all so bad. I I I I had some really good visits with some really good people. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
doing when I did my when I did that tour around the United States. Yeah. You're under an overpass.
Yeah.
There you go. That's where you're hanging out. Did you make it up
Yeah.
the Appalachian Trail or something?
I'm not too far, but North Carolina is almost just like Florida. They'll give you money, but not a ride.
No, I don't know that side of it. I never hitchhiked through there.
Yeah, it's like
I
Florida.
did all my hitchhiking when I was young, probably your age. I wouldn't know what to do if I got out there hitchhiking nowadays. People aren't as willing to be helpful as they
It takes forever
back
getting out of
back
this
when I was
goddamn
young.
state. People have been a blast to be around, you know. It's just the COVID too, like people are just like really petrified
Yeah, I
over
was
the
I was
COVID.
curious about that. I wondered about that one. I wondered if that was affecting
Now,
the hitchhikers and stuff. I figured it would.
the West Coast, I had no problem, but over here, they're like, "Hey, I can't give you a ride. Here's like $20."
Right.
Yeah, I can understand the truckers because they have a job and that's their sole income, and they
Yeah.
can't afford to get sick. I understand
Right.
that part.
That makes sense. So what's your plans today?
I don't know, take it easy.
Try to make it a little
Go to
further?
Walmart, buy me new shoes.
And wore your shoes
Probably
out?
get me a pair of socks.
Huh?
Probably get me a pair of socks.
Ah, there you go. Well, I hope you have a. Hey, there's. What's wrong with you? Sleeping?
Yeah, she thinks she's a parrot. She's on the ledge. That's her little
Yeah.
perch.
Yeah. Yeah, my
Look,
big dog just. I just let my big dog in the house last night because letting him up. He got out first spot. Rodney, how you doing, buddy? Come up on the panel. Looks comfy. Yeah.
oh, I'm not gonna say the name, but this is what I don't do. I don't buy friendships. I'm not gonna say the name. I sent the person the dollar back. I was like, no, I'm not Nikki. I'm not Sam. I'm not Evan.
Mm,
I will never buy friendship. You
right.
can't buy friendship with me at all. You either like me or you don't. And I can
Right.
understand people having a change of heart. That's one thing
Yeah.
about me. If you send me money for troops, whatever it's called, I'll send it right back to you. I'm sorry, I don't swing that way. You're not going to buy me a friendship.
Right.
That's a PSA for everybody.
Hmm. Sounds like good sound advice.
I'm sorry, I don't flow that way. You know, like why would you buy friendship?
Rodney said he'll give you $1 if you be his friend.
I'm good.
You don't want to make the dollar to be his friend?
No, I'm good.
Well, knowing Rodney, it's lucky he wasn't trying to charge you $1 to be a. Yeah, Rodney's got a heck of a sense of humor. I got a chance to meet him. He's good people too.
Hey, you know how to scare a hitchhiker?
Do I know how to scare a hitchhiker?
You carry a gun and go in the middle of the drive out to the middle of the woods and start talking insanely. You'll
It's much
scare them.
quicker. It's much quicker and easier to scare a hitchhiker by just turning the wheel towards them. Just make them think you're fixing to run them over. Just
Hey,
scare the living hell out of them.
okay. We get that on a daily. People try to hit us. That's nothing.
I know. I've hitchhiked before. I know what it's like. You get people like to throw their fountain drinks at you, and you end up sticky from pop all over you, and they throw all kinds of stuff at you. Beer cans are the worst because when that beer gets all over you, you ain't got no choice but to smell like a brewery. Now,
You know it's really
yeah,
fun?
I did hitchhiking years ago. I understand it completely, and it's a complete different way of life. I know.
Yeah.
There's a lot you got to deal with. But the good point about it is you actually get a good chance to see what the other side of humanity thinks. And you can see human beings in their raw form. You can see just how much hatred and evil is in the world. But where we define ourselves is where we divide us from the evil and hateful people. How we divide us from them.
Indeed. You should
It's called
see that.
target practice.
You know,
He said it's called target practice.
From semis, it was a trade-off. Listening to their family disputes, like drivers, them truckers would say a bunch of shit bad about their spouse and shit, or family. I'm like, wow.
So, inquiring minds would like to know. You said that you cannot have your friendship bought with $1. So, can it be bought with $2? I had to ask.
No money. No money. I'm sorry. You like me or you don't?
You're one of them expensive guys. Huh? It's gonna be $5 or $10, ain't it? I'm just joking. You know that.
You got me with $1 million. I ain't gonna take it.
If somebody come at you with $1 million, you would take it, and you know it. You know you would.
No,
there ain't no way you can deny that. Don't tell me you can't. You wouldn't take it. You know you would. I have no interest in. I mean, I really have no love for money or anything, but I guarantee you, I'd take it. Somebody offer me $1 million, see if I don't take it. Now, I'll probably use it for all kinds of different stuff. You know, I'd be helping out a lot of people and stuff, but nevertheless, I guarantee you, I'd take it.
I won't take it for friendship.
Hey, I'll be your friend for a lot less than $1 million.
Shit, I'd be like, well, thank you for the $1 million, but and don't help out with friendship.
But see, that you would know would be a true friend because either they're completely crazy or they're really trying to be a true friend because ain't nobody gonna give you $1 million. Klondike.
You gotta be hilarious.
What would you do for a Klondike bar? Jose, what would you do for a Klondike bar?
Yo, Rodney, why don't you come in?
You sure you want Rodney to come up on the panel?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, you're asking for it. You know that, right?
I don't give a fuck.
You're a gluttony for punishment. A glutton for punishment. Are you sure you want him to come up? And if he chimes in, I'm gonna put him up there. You're a glutton for punishment, though. He's gonna mess with you hard. Huh?
I don't care.
There you go. Garden State Gardener, how are you doing? Your friend from Maine. I know, right, Tony? I would. I know my intentions would be completely different. I'd probably be trying to open up a bunch of missions or something, knowing me. But nevertheless, I'd take $1 million. There's a lot of good that can be done with that evil currency that we call money. A lot of good can be done with it.
Hey, you should open up a strip club and call it Oh Jesus.
Does that work right in your head? You just told me to open a strip club and call it Oh Jesus? Is that the way your brain works? Holy crap. No, no, indeed not. There is no way I would be involved in that fornication, that sin of that no, there ain't no way I would do that. I'm pretty sure I would sign my seat in the pit of hell for doing that. I would, I, I would have my assigned seat sitting right next to the devil himself. I guarantee you, if I did that, that ain't happening. No way.
It'd be a perfect name because that's what most people be like. Oh Jesus, oh Jesus, this is some pretty ass ladies here.
Well, now we know what you do in your spare time when you're not vlogging. Okay. Anyhow, is that what you do with all the donations? Check out the strip clubs and get ideas on how to make one that is going to offend every single Christian in this world. You ain't trying to offend one or two people. You're trying to offend everybody. Oh. You know what the Bible says? You know what the Bible says about people that offend people, right? It's better for a millstone to be hung around your neck and be thrown in the deep parts of the sea than to offend one of his little ones.
Oh, you're one of them.
You want to offend everybody.
Take a joke.
I know. Jeez almighty.
I was actually on a Christian ministry online radio thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I got kicked out of the studio for saying absurd things like that.
Well, yeah, I imagine you would. That's oh my goodness. That's about as bad as going into a church and deciding to worship the devil. It's just a bad idea, man. You're gonna offend some people there. Jeez almighty. Well, Jose, you can at least make me laugh. Well, no, you're in our prayers.
Well, thank you.
You're definitely in our prayers. You just made it to the top of the list, buddy. Holy crap.
I only said that just so Rodney can screen record that and put it up on his channel.
I know. I seen him in there, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, he's fixing to jump up, and he's gonna run with this one 1,000,000 miles an hour.
I know Stella would.
Yeah.
She runs with anything.
Yeah. But in seriousness, you got to be careful with the way you think. Seriously. Be very, very careful in how you think and also how you pray.
Always.
Yeah. Very, very cautious of it because, what a man thinketh, so shall he do. Same thing. So be careful with that.
Always.
Yeah. Rodney said he's still in that idea, a Jesus Gentleman Club, huh? Gentlemen's Club. Good morning, Nikki. How are you? Oh my goodness, she must have heard us talking. That's the first time she's popped up in here in forever.
Oh shit! I said something fucking edgy, and now she's here.
leave it to that guy. Hey, Brand,
Nikki
he's
has a
the
baby
one that
that's
brought it up.
for me. She's been
Yeah.
saying my name for the last 3 weeks.
You
Say
what?
my name. Say my name. Nikki, say my name.
Wow.
She must like me.
Nikki, normally
Yeah,
she likes
I'm
just about
gonna-
everybody, but she just, gets mad
Yeah,
at people
Nikki,
every now and then. She gets over it. She's good people. She just,
everywhere I go, she's there.
yeah.
Seen her.
So she's tracking you down. You think you got a stalker then, huh?
Hey, you know that song by the Shy Lights? Have you seen her?
Have I seen who?
It's called just. Have you ever heard the Shy Lights? It's a oldies.
No. Not that I know of.
It's a group called the Shy Lights. Have you seen her? I'm dedicating that song.
Oh, okay. I know which one.
Yeah. Instead of her, it's
So is it so wait a minute, go back to the Nikki deal. I'm curious here. Do you think she's stalking you? You think she's got a crush on you? What's going on in your mind there?
talking about me. You
I
know,
mean,
they-
me personally, if I
YouTube.
look at the situation from the outside looking in, I think more along the lines of like one of them just said in here. You know, I think that maybe it's you that has the crush on her, but I'm just curious how it works in your
I
head.
ain't got no crush on that bitch.
Huh?
I ain't got no crush on that girl. Fuck all that noise.
Why you say that? That is so mean. She's a nice lady. She's a nice lady. Maybe if you find you a lady and settle down, you might calm down a little bit or grow up a little bit or something.
I tell you what, you know they say when they keep mentioning your name, you're winning on YouTube.
Oh yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
I just watched a video the other day of people that I don't even talk to anymore, and they were talking about me. So I guess I'm doing really good as far as YouTube is concerned.
Yeah, you're
I
winning.
don't, as far as I'm
I mean,
concerned, I
you're
don't care if
winning,
anybody's talking about me or not. You know what I mean? But it's not a matter of how well you're doing on YouTube. It's what you're doing with your platform that matters, I
Hey, have
believe.
you ever heard of a guy named Eddie or hold on, Evangelist Cheney?
Yeah, hold on. Hold on, let's see who's in the basement here.
You should check him out. He's a pretty good. He's a pretty good.
Nikki, you got to show yourself. Don't show yourself. I mean, you got to turn the camera on for just a second. Okay, there it is.
Yeah, you know what?
No, don't do that crap. Hold on. There you go, Jose.
It's my online crush. Look.
Now we can get down to the bottom of it.
She came up on a pallet just for me. Now I'm just fucking with her.
So, tell us about that crush on Nikki.
I ain't got no crush on her. Fuck all that.
The monster you never knew. All those cryptic messages.
Hey. How you doing there?
Huh?
What?
Jose last night went up on a panel and for the third time told a different story about why his channel was taken down. So he's continuing to lie throughout the community. He's stalking me. He posts so many videos. Wait a minute, I'm talking. Shut up. Shut up. I'm talking.
Shut
up.
Got like
Shut up.
Try to be
Shut
nice
up.
towards each other here.
Shut up, liar.
I was talking first.
Shut up, liar.
Jose, let her finish what she was saying. Quit being so mean. You're not gonna be rude on here. I'll turn it off. It don't matter. All right. Go ahead. Finish what you're saying now.
He posted a troll channel called The Monster You Never Knew. He left all kinds of weird, creepy messages for me. This guy is obsessed with me. He is so creepy. I'm going to start filing stalking charges on him if he doesn't leave me alone and stop posting things about me and talking about me. He's really weird. I know that he's socially retarded, and I get that. But I am 57 years old Friday. That I am not interested in Jose in any shape, form, or fashion. He is a psycho troll stalker.
Actually, you're the one that got me kicked out of hotels.
You're a liar. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it was me, Jose. Show your receipts.
I already contacted the hotel chain. So you don't
Show the email. Show that you got kicked out. You're a liar.
Jose, I hate to say it, but man, you kind of if you spin a web, you kind of gotta deal with what gets in it, you know. Sorry, I mean, I don't want nobody bashing on anybody, but I mean, answer the question
I'm not
if you can.
bashing.
I mean,
I'm not bashing,
if
Tommy.
you're running around being mean to people, you have to take an account for it, you know. Unfortunately, you're going to have to take an account for it one day anyway. You may as well take an account for it now and go ahead and ask for forgiveness as it says. The best thing to do. That'd be my advice. I mean, you do you, I'm going to do me. But
show them,
that's my
Jose. Prove it. You need to show receipts in this community, right, Tommy?
Huh?
Yeah,
you gotta show receipts. He's running around saying I got him kicked out of the hotel. You got to show that I did.
Mm-hmm.
Show it. Prove it. You never got kicked out of the hotel. That was just part of your little game you were playing.
And also, Jose, before you worry about trying to prove what somebody else is doing, know that they're proving what you are doing too. Everybody's looking at you when you're doing wrong with somebody else.
Hey, when I get back up to Pennsylvania, I was summoned to the because my parents they want to make sure I'm not doing anything, and they looked up the phone records and they don't see anything of me harassing people.
I don't believe that either. I don't believe that either. Because we have proof that you're calling people and the number comes up under your father. So there's no way. You have not one shred of proof to back up any of your allegations. And I have tons of proof. I have posted my proof time and time again. You need to leave me alone, Jose. You need to quit talking about me. You need to quit trolling me. And you need to quit stalking me. Or I will press charges. I am not playing with you. I am a grown-ass woman, and I don't want to play your little games for views.
Hey, then take down your videos about me. You got over 100.
Never will I take down my videos because they're all true. They're evidence. Evidence
of what? Of you making up fornicating shit? Well, that's not right.
You even know what that word means? You just
pull
words out of the fucking air and have no idea what you're talking about. So that's my thing, Tommy. I just want to leave me alone.
Why don't you say ask Eddie for those pills back?
Receipts,
I
Jose.
understand wanting to be left alone and want to be out of it.
To leave me alone. Stop stalking me. Don't watch my channel. Don't participate in my live streams. Just leave me alone. That's all you got to do. I'll stop making videos about you if you leave me alone. But you're not going to blackmail me and tell me to take my stuff down.
Hey, and Jose, also speaking from experience, when it comes to Nikki, if she's mad at you and you leave her alone, she'll get over it.
Yeah, leave me alone.
I mean, prime example, she got mad at me and blocked me off her channel and everything over some stupid crap, and she got over it. Now we're talking again.
I
Fine.
get over things. I move on. I don't let hate and shit
Gotta
eat me
give-
up inside.
You know, you got to give people time to get over things when you're being mean and hateful toward the person, or you're doing the person wrong. You got to give them time to settle that. You know, you got to be willing to talk about it too.
So you leave me alone, Jose. Stop talking about me. Stop lying. Stop doing the trolling shit that you're doing, because I will come after you. I'm promising you. You can ask anybody in this community. I'm good at that shit, and I will. I'll get your parents involved. You need to leave me alone, because I'm not that bitch to play with.
You know what? You know what? Fuck you. Because you're the one that's doing it to me, and you're turning the shit around. I already had PIs look after you and all that shit. I had to turn my phone in for a month for them to realize it's not me doing it. And you know what I was told? You know what I was told? They can fabricate all the shit they want, but guess what? It's on their end. It's not mine. This is a very complicated deal.
Jose, listen to me for a
You're not
minute.
listening. You're not fucking listening.
I'm not listening.
This is what
Keep
people
in
do.
mind whose chat you're in right now, okay?
Shut up and believe it. But that's okay. That's all right.
I have been listening, and I've been very silent, and I haven't said very much of anything. So don't tell me I haven't been listening. I do understand what you're saying, and I also understand what she's saying. I'm not picking sides. I'm not jumping from one side to the other or anything else like anybody would expect me to. I'm just going to simply tell you my side of it. Now that y'all have said y'all side, remember, you're going to have to answer for everything that you do towards a person, no matter what it is. Keep that in mind, because that doesn't only apply to you, it applies to anybody else too. If somebody is doing you wrong, they're going to have to answer for it one day. But when you recompense evil for evil, evil is what you get. If somebody does something wrong to you and you retaliate, then evil is what you're going to get.
This is what I was told by a private investigator. If I'm not doing anything illegal, then don't worry about it. So I'm not worried.
I understand your point. I'm just saying that it's a good idea not to to recompense evil for evil. It's not. It's you don't. If somebody is doing something wrong to you, you don't retaliate with something done wrong. You know, the Bible tells us very clearly we pray for those that despitefully or do harm towards us. You know, and you have to first start looking into yourself, and this goes for everybody. This goes for her too. You start looking into yourself and thinking and figuring out exactly who you are. Because the sooner you know who you are, you know the sin within your own life, and you know how you treat other people. You can make the difference. The difference that you make in your life can rub off on others. Same way with taking the evil side of things. If you want to go back and forth and be mean towards people and always out to try to settle the score, then you haven't learned forgiveness. And if you don't learn forgiveness, you can never ask for forgiveness. If you don't have forgiveness for others, you can't ask for forgiveness, you know? And I'm just telling you from a biblical standpoint. And I know you may not follow all of that, but that's just it's my channel and this is what I do. But you need to think about that, and that goes for her too. And I've told her that that goes for everybody, every one of us. We think about the things that we do to other people, and keep that in our mind.
You know what?
And understand that sometimes the bad things that people do unto us, we've actually deserved. because of all the stuff that we've done to others. You start cleaning up. I have a saying that I've said ever since the day that Flux from Slab City put it on the bus when we did that San Diego trip. It said to be the change you want to see in this world. And ever since I've seen that saying, I've understood it and tried to apply that into my life, and it has helped quite a bit. You want people to treat you differently, act different. If you want people to look at you differently, look different.
No,
what I'm saying?
no. That's totally
What?
irrelevant. Because first off, I was brought into that community for innocent
No.
and
Wait a minute.
whatnot. You know,
Wait a
I
minute.
showed them multiple times I had no interest in their little bullshit. But yet, every time people email me 45 times a day stating, hey, Nikki's doing this, Evan's doing that to you, and all that. Like, people will tell me who the fuck is doing what and accusing me of fake
Let me ask
things.
you something.
I'm getting
Let me
tired
ask you
of it.
something. Hey, let me ask you something. What does it matter what another person says about you? If you're not giving them anything bad to talk about you, then they're spinning lies anyway. And who is
Matter
at
of
fault for
fact,
the lie?
I have
The
lost
person that's
well
doing the
over
lie. But if you're doing it, then all
$3,000
this. Hey, listen to me for a second. If you're doing it, then all you're doing, or all they're doing, is pointing out the truth.
They're
Now,
not
there's a
pointing
big
out no
difference
truth.
between a lie and
There's
the truth.
no truth.
Listen to
So
me.
hold on. So
Listen
you're
to me,
saying,
Jose. Stop
so
talking
you're
for just a minute.
saying, hold on.
Young man, hey, you need to understand what. Just listen for a second, please.
Okay, you're trying to make me the corporate of all the shit's going on, which it's
No.
not.
I never took sides.
Yes.
I never took sides.
That's what
I
it sounds
never
like right
took
now.
sides. I'm explaining something to you that is beneficial for your life. It is beneficial for your afterlife. It is beneficial for you in every
Right,
which way.
you're not trying to
And
hear
the
my suck
problem
it
is
out.
you
Fuck
will
you.
not stop talking long enough to listen to me. Now listen. Oh, did you get offended? I'm sorry. Did you? I didn't mean to offend you. Really, I didn't. I'm trying to teach you something. You understand? And sometimes the truth is harsh, but when it's said out of love, out of a person that truly just has love for another person and is telling them that, it is for edification. It is for teaching them. You understand? You can't live a life full of hatred and not expect hatred back out of it. You get what you put into life. If you think for a second that you're going to get bad when all you give is good, then you have the whole works completely twisted. You get out of life exactly what you put into it. You get out of people what you put into it also. And that's why I try to encounter everything with a loving heart, but sometimes I have to get very assertive to get them to stop and understand that the bickering, the arguing, the drama, and the whining about this one said this and that one said that, and none of that is helpful. None of it. Now, you know what is helpful? A person that out of love wants to sit down, not take sides, but wants to sit down and explain to you in a way to where you can understand, so that you don't treat people wrongly. And you understand when people do treat you wrongly. And you understand that you have to forgive them anyway. That, young man, is what I am trying to explain to you. Try to show you and get you to understand the love of God and how it works. The love of God is the love of people, the love of everyone around you. You do not know if we are entertaining angels unaware or what. You don't know what it is that is there and what it's there for. So if you encounter it all with love, you will receive love in return. And that's all I'm simply trying to tell you. Okay, a person that is mean and vile all the time will never get anything more than devastation and grief throughout their whole life. But a person that is good, honest, and loving will get a good, honest, loving life. You understand? You literally get what you put in. So if you're afraid to put in the work to get a good life, then you're gonna have to be settled with the life that you have and what happens in it. Now, as for me and my family, we try our best for a better life. And in return, we have so many blessings that there's no way I could count them all. And it is because of the way that we treat people. Okay? That is something that you could learn from. And I'm sorry you got offended. I'm sorry you had to get out of there. And I don't know if you're listening to it, but I sure hope you did. I hope you understand it. And understand, I love you, buddy. I don't think bad about any one of you. And as far as the drama stuff, I don't care. I could care less. The drama, that's all that drama and all that hate and bitterness is all of the devil. It's not of God. So therefore it means nothing to me. That is the devil's doings. The part that bothers me is the fact of watching my fellow man fall into that hole. A hole that I know very well because I was there. I've been there. I've done that. Now, if you'll stop and listen to those that actually have understanding of that and apply it in your life and try to understand what it means to forgive a person that is doing you wrong. Think about Jesus. He forgave the very soldiers that was killing him. The very soldiers that were mocking him and putting a crown on his head. He stood there for forgiveness for them. And he paid the ultimate price. Now, y'all want to sit there and bicker, argue back and forth and everything else, whatever. But listen to what I'm telling you. At least listen. Let that seed be planted. Okay? Because we're not going to make it in this world is in such a pitiful state of mind as it is because of all of this hatred and anger towards each other. And it is disgusting. It is not, it shouldn't even be tolerated. But unfortunately, it's here. And it's something we have to deal with. But first, we have to deal with it in ourselves before we can ever try to correct someone else. Now, I'm done with that one. Trust me, that was all out of love. I'm sorry if it offended anybody, especially Jose. I'm sorry if it offended you, but sometimes offense is what it takes to get an understanding of what's being said. Sometimes you have to offend people. I mean, look at the way that Jesus acted in the tabernacle when he went in there and seen them all selling goods and exchanging the money, and he went in there and had made them mad, and he threw the tables up and let the birds out and ran the cattle out and everything, and told them to stop using his house for a market, or using God's place for a marketplace. He offended a lot of people, I guarantee you. There's a lot of people who were mad about that. But it was something that had to happen. It had to teach them, hey, y'all can't do that. So if I offended you in a loving way, then I'm happy that it has the ability to sink in. If I have offended anybody in the wrong way, I am deeply sorry. Now, let's go on with the show. I done missed a whole bunch in the comments, so I'm gonna go back and try to read some of them and touch base if any of them were questions directed towards me. So, yeah, as far as attacking don't attack the trolls. Just try to show them love. Matter of fact, we was just talking with Digger earlier. Did y'all see the connection there? We're okay with each other. We're good with each other. Everybody is good. Hey, I think the world of him, and he thinks the world of me, obviously. You get what I'm saying? It started out with him trolling me. But you keep fighting back, fighting the good fight. Things come out of it. You know, we have a friendship going. He's fixing to learn a song just to make me smile. Literally. He's going to learn a song that has tremendous meaning, and I hope the meaning sinks into his head, and I'm sure it will. But he's going to learn that song just to make me smile. So, you know, that is what can happen if you take these trolls and start acting the right way and be that example for them. You know. Thank you for that comment anyway. I don't even know who put it. I done got past it now. Get what you put into people. Get what they deserve. Yeah. Yeah, Kid Rock said that too, right? Get what you put into people and you get what you deserve. Evil one. And the one that grows is the one you feed. Exactly. That, Rodney, that is an awesome, I like the way you said that. Everyone has two wolves inside of them. A good one and an evil one. The one that grows is the one you feed. If you feed the evil one, yeah, the evil one's going to grow, and that's going to be who you are. You're right. That's an awesome way of putting it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Guaranteed. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Digger has actually grown quite a bit, and he's not that mean, hateful person that he was many a times before. And you know, I am very very excited to see that. And honestly, I want to get to know the Digger as who he is now. I would love to get to know him now. You know, the mean stuff they used to say and that obviously wasn't who he was. You know, and that's what happens with a lot of us. It's not who we are. It's just what we're used to. It's what's around us. And unfortunately with Jose, that's a lot of it too. You know, he's spent a lot of time out on the streets, and I understand that. And that's why I have a heart for him. I know where he's at, and I understand where he's at, and I've been there. And I also understand, you know, his um not being the sharpest tool in the shed. I mean, I have a son that's the same way, and you know, but the thing about it is my son knows who he is. He knows his faults, and he knows who he is, and that's why it doesn't offend him. You can look him straight in the face and call him a retard, and he's just going to smile at you. And it's because it does not offend him. He knows that he has um, well, man calls it developmental delays, is what it's called when you. But you know, he's lucky to be alive though. You know, he was born at 26 weeks. I don't know if anybody's ever, or if I've ever mentioned that before, but was born at 26 weeks, way premature. Okay, literally set in the palm of my hand with a butt here and his legs here. Okay, very little in an incubator for quite a little bit. You know, it was only by the grace of God that he made it through that. But he owns up to it. He knows who he is, and that's the best thing that could be for anybody. And Jose, I hope you seek and find out who you are, The book of Philippians says to seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling. And I believe that that means to get to know yourself and know who you are and know your salvation. You know where you're going, know why you're going there. You know, don't be a part of this world that just ignores the inner workings of a human brain and the mind. You know, be like you know, y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all understand what I'm saying. Good morning. There's Miss Shepherd. How are you? Why do we have to use the word retard as byword? Yes, that's why. But I was saying that to make a point. You know, um, and nobody calls him that, by the way. I'm just. I mean, he the point is people have to know who they are, and whether they're set back a little bit as far as mental state or not, or whatever. They need to know that, and they need to know that about themselves. And don't let so much of other people's opinions contradict or dictate how you can live your life and how you do live your life. You let everybody else's opinion determine what you do, how you treat a person, what you talk about, where you go, or any of that. And that, my friend, is not living free. That is living for someone else. That is doing other people's deeds. You understand? You got to know who you are inside and live free and be awoke. Listen to people and don't be so quick to recompense evil for evil. You know. Yeah, for lack of a better one. Yeah, you're right. But the point is, it doesn't matter what kind of vulgar things that they say. I've said it that way for a reason. It doesn't matter what kind of vulgar things people say. The quicker we understand that if we allow ourselves or allow others to rent space in our heads and let them control what we think and how we act and how we treat others, then the devil's won. The devil has won hands down. You think they didn't say some nasty things to Jesus while they were nailing him to the cross, or even while he roamed around and did his sermons and all of that? You think they all were nice to him? No, they plotted to kill him for quite some time before they even did. A lot of people hated him, and he died for it. The very same people that hated him, he died for it. He died for everyone's sin, no matter how great or small. There is no greater or lesser sin. They're all the same, and he died for every one of us. That includes you, Jose. He did that for you. See, I always overlook. I haven't always overlooked what people said. As a matter of fact, here on YouTube, I let a lot of people get under my skin, and so much to the point where it run me off of YouTube for a long while, which was needed to happen that way because the walk with God that I have now, I'm not scared of it. It doesn't bother me what somebody else says or what somebody else thinks. I could care less what they think. As long as they'll listen to me, I'll plant the seed. If they won't listen to me, I'll do like the Bible says and I'll dust my feet off and walk away. but I don't really care what they say. They can say what they want about me. You can call me a false preacher. I've heard that a million times. Oh my God, more times than I could ever imagine. Or they can call me whatever. You know, I can't think of anything else right now. Just that was the one that really annoyed me really bad. But anyhow, and call me whatever. It doesn't matter. And what's funny is when they make comments on my videos, and all I do is try to spread love and be kind towards people and plant that seed that God said we needed to plant, and that is through our actions, not through our words. You don't have to preach to be a preacher. You don't have to preach to be a minister. You minister God's grace by example. And you know what? They go to a message and say hateful things on the comments and stuff. But you know what that tells me? That person was in there and that person listened to what I had to say and how I acted. And maybe if they keep coming in there, even though they're spitting evil, maybe they might make a turnaround for the better. Just like we was talking about with Digger. Something made him make a turnaround. I believe, honestly, I believe it was the birth of a newborn child, which that would do it. That would do it to about anybody. That'll change your whole mindset. But you get what I'm saying? All it takes is something to change a person. You know, so if we look past the evil in people and look towards the fact that we're all sinners and we're all equal in that sin, you know, then we have a better chance of helping people to turn over a different leaf. Try it. What could it hurt? I might be right, you know. Yes. Yep. We went all over the country in a car that literally had no business leaving the state of California. You're right. And God was holding it together. It was. Yep. Right down to the way the motor ran. How can we take I went and searched down the Bible, leaking oil. And my faith was not in the fact that that the Bible was actually leaking oil, because I was always kind of curious. I've even said that in my videos. I don't know what they've done, but I do know that they felt like power in the oil. You know, and it through the oil that we anointed the car and everything, God did His work with us. We find out years later that they were picking up the oil from Tractor Supply. And you know what? It doesn't change anything that happened. Doesn't matter where they got it. You know, honestly, it doesn't really matter where they got it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when it comes to what God used it for. Now, as far as the person that did that and lied about it and fault and got a lot of people to believe something that was false, you know, I really hope and pray that they have asked for forgiveness for that, because I'm pretty sure that that's not a good thing, you know. But nevertheless, it was what God done with it, you know. Just food for thought. Well, I'm glad that the words and then and the insight has helped you, but you know, most of the time it's not my words. I mean, yeah, I'm the one speaking them, but I mean, most of the time it's not my words. It's the thoughts that God puts in my head, and it's allowing God to use me in order to to put out that goodness and that whatever you want to call it, to help people, and that we all need to do, and that we all fall short too. We fall short at it all the time. There's plenty of times I think to myself, I was in town. I really should have stopped. I really should have talked to that person that I seen. Just I had the desire to talk to him at the time, but I decided not to. I stepped back and I didn't. And I often think about that later on. It's like, maybe God had something that he wanted to get through to that person, and it was me that needed to tell him. And maybe I did wrong by just ignoring the conversation and walking off, or not. And some people think I'm a broken record, because every chance I get, I will try to put God into the conversation. And some people, sometimes I don't mention it, and I feel bad when I don't. It's just the changes that we all need to make in our own lives. I am rather was a little discouraged, a little upset that I offended him, and he got off of there before I believe he got the point. But hopefully that seed was planted. So those of you that pray, maybe say a little extra prayer that those seeds are planted to everyone that it needs to be planted to, everyone that was involved, and everyone that has a wrongdoing in any of it. So remember, we have to ask for forgiveness for our part in everything, even if it means to seriously ask a troll, somebody that is being hateful all the time to you and has done all this wrong to you, even if it means asking that troll for forgiveness for the one thing that you did. And telling them that, you know what, even though you have been a vile person, I forgive you. And being man enough to stand up and do that. That is a difficult task, but a very rewarding one. And most of the really, really, really rewarding tasks are difficult. And they're difficult because of our free will, and because of worrying about what other people think and all of that nonsense. Visions may have created to survive. Right. I understand that. Y'all took that Bible oil thing to the extreme. I figured that was gonna happen. As soon as I mentioned that Bible oil, I knew that was coming up. I seriously, I wanted to get a hold of the guy and ask him, well, was it 10W40? Was it 2050? Was it what weight was the oil? I'm just curious, but I don't know. I think that would be kind of I don't know, digging a nail in the coffin there. It's already God's taking care of it. God's doing his thing in that guy's life, I'm sure. So synthetic, I guess, maybe sympathetic. Yeah, but isn't it great, the things that when we sit back and think about it and ponder? Isn't it great the things that God does for us when we don't deserve it? I mean, seriously, ask yourself, look into yourself. Don't answer nobody, and don't tell nobody, because this is something for yourself. But look into yourself and ask yourself, what have you done to deserve the blessings you have? It puts you in a different mindset as far as who you are. It will really open up your eyes as to who you are, and just to how much of a wretched sinner we are. And thanks to what God did for us, through our faith, we have the ultimate blessing. Does that make sense to anybody? Yes. Yes, it does. Yep. Yes. Unlock every secret. Turn over every leaf. Look under every rock. Right? Exactly. You know, it also said to bear your sins openly. And that one, a lot of Christians don't take in consideration because they would rather hide their sin to look more Christ-like, to look to others as being more of a Christian. And that is one of the worst things anybody could ever do, because you put off that you're perfect, but yet no man's perfect. We all sin and fall short of the glory of God. No man is perfect. Nobody. But we put off ourselves as being perfect because we don't, we hide our sins. And there's a reason why he says to confess your sins openly. You know, it may be vile, it may be nasty, it may be wrong, but at least people know that you are a sinner saved by grace, trying to do better. But they know that, instead of knowing that, oh well, this is a Christian guy that thinks he's better than anybody else. I'm here to tell you, we're not. We are actually worse than a lot of people, because a lot of people know how to be true, and a lot of Christians don't. Christians hide behind the falsehood of being perfect. You know, we should strive to be perfect. We should try everything we can to live a perfect life. But when it comes down to the brass balls, we're never going to make it, not as a perfect being. The last person that made it perfect walked straight up into the clouds, into heaven, and therefore didn't have to die, which the death is the wages of sin. You know, death is the cause of sin. The sin in our life is what kills us. You know, not having any sin in our life, we would walk straight up into heaven with God and never see death. And it's not going to happen. It's not likely to happen. I say it's not likely because it has, you know, but it's not likely. But it's in knowing who you are. Knowing who you are towards other people, knowing who you are as a whole, knowing the sin that's in your life, and even though it's embarrassing, even though it's degrading, understanding that that is where you have to work on, and that is something that you have to strive to not have in your life. But it's not something that you hide and sweep under a rug, and in order for everybody else around you to believe that you are saved, or to believe that you're a Christian, or whatever. You know, Christians have a problem with a false illusion, and they wonder why there's so many sinners out there that do not believe the same way, because they see the corruption in it. And you know, instead of doing God's work, we're actually doing the devil's work when we're running people out of churches because of the way that we announce God's presence in our life with our mouth and deny Him with the very lives that we live. I think it was DC Talk that said that on the beginning of it was off of an old speech. It's become famous. I don't know the exact wordings, but you know, I would like to be an angel. Having wings would be badass. Yeah, yeah. But I know the Bible says we wouldn't have, or I don't. I think it. Wait a minute. I'll have to go back and research that one. I think it says we want the angels have wings, but did it say we were gonna? I gotta go back and look that one up. Thank you. That give me something else to research. But seriously, do some soul searching, figure out who you are, and treat people accordingly. Be the change you want to be in. You want to see in this world. No way, no other way of putting it. So, anybody else got anything to say? I think I'm caught up with the chat. Yeah, when you needed, yeah. Even if I don't have the wings, I'll still jump off stuff. It's not like you're gonna die. Well, the Bible paints a picture of heaven as a place where the beasts of the land are literally led in by a child, and the beauty of what it is. Yeah, you might actually, there might be some terrain out there to where you can have something to jump off of and test that theory, but I don't know. Maybe you might not be, you may not even be able to jump. I know we're going to we're going to shed these earthly bodies and become, be a new creature altogether. So we're not sure exactly what those are. Maybe that, some people say they're spirits. Some people say they're angels. Some people, there's 101 different ideas, but let's face it, nobody's going to know until we get up there. And if you're listening to somebody tell you exactly what it's going to be up there, you're listening to somebody that has a whole bunch of plaques that man says that they're smart. But let's put it bluntly, there's no way in the world, unless you die and go to heaven, that you're going to know exactly what the terrain looks like. You know what I mean? But we do know a little bit. We know a little bit. The Bible paints a pretty cool little picture of it. So we do have something to base it on. But nobody knows for absolute certain. Anyway. Well, y'all got me preaching today. Started out regular stream, but see, that was the right way to do that. Remember before I finally got time to work things out right, people would start stuff on the deal, and you just want to stop it and get fed up and get out of there and everything else. And I just hammer away at God's word, and it become what it is now. I love that. I do that a lot too. I talk with a lot of people now, every chance I get, and it's been a blessing. It has been very, very rewarding. Well, hopefully I got my point across. Rodney, you think I got my point across to him? You think that might have helped him a little bit? And everybody that wants to bicker back and forth with each other, I hope and pray that that has helped everybody. But that's just a little insight on the way I see things, backed up by the Word of God that I read and the experiences I've had in life. So while they could be a little off, I think that they're right on. Or I think that they're spot on. And I think all of us could use a little renewing of the spirit, would be the best way to put it. He went live and he's going off on me. Oh well. Win some, you lose some. I just pray for him anyway. Love him anyway. Love the sinner, not the sin, right? Sometimes it's harder to do that than it is to say it. But love the sinner, not the sin. I kind of figured one of them was going to go live and go off. Just no, you can't save them all, and it's not our place to save them all. It's our place to plant a seed, and there is a seed planted with him. And if he thinks about it, even though he's mad right now because maybe I got under his feathers and maybe I've ruffled a few up, but like it or not, if you find any minister or any preacher that sugarcoats it, that don't offend you, yeah, I might want to seek out another one. You want one that is going to make you stop and think about what you have in your life and what you do in your life. You need somebody to say that, and unfortunately it has to be said. And as long as it's said from out of love, then you're doing it the right, you're doing the right thing. As long as it is out of love and it's not out of spite that you say anything. And trust me, I had no spite whatsoever towards any of them. I mean, I watch his channel quite a bit, and just to see where he's going and what he's up to, because he does think people minded and I understand that, and I'm not saying that in a bad way by no means, and I understand that. That's why I follow him. But maybe that was a little harsh, but I think it was needed. So, oh yeah, the Lord definitely has a way of humbling people, and I'm very, very glad that He humbled me. I thought everything that I was learning and everything, I honestly, I hate to say it, but your mindset just makes you think that you are climbing above and beyond people, above and beyond where other people are at. And your mind makes you think that way. And while you might be, but that would be the wrong way to even look at anything. It's when you humble yourselves enough to know that, okay, well, maybe I am a few steps ahead of this one, but that's not needed. I need to help this one up, and willing to reach that hand out back behind them and pull somebody else up with them. That's where the beauty happens, when we stop thinking about just ourselves and just our walk with God, but worry and think about the ones around us too. and keep trying to pull them up. They might be kicking and screaming, but you just keep trying to pull them up. Try to help them every which way you can. Don't be mean and vicious towards them. Try to help them. Try to help them understand in the most loving way you can. Try to do those things, and you'll find more blessings in your life than you could ever count. Oh, you're more than welcome, schools. Wow. Orange juice is $1 more than coffee. Well, that makes sense. Coffee is like cheap. You used to get it for like 50 cents a cup. You go to them little hometown restaurants and pay $1. Sometimes I think now it's more like $2, but they never let your cup run out. Keep filling it up. Well, see, in situations like that, you kind of got to ask yourself, uh, you know, not, not the fact of why you do that. It's unfortunate that was done, but it's done and said, over with. There's nothing you can do about it, but you can think about the person in there that you offended, the person that got up this morning and got their kids ready for school, and um, got their husband off to work or whatever, and then come in to work and is having a wonderful and blessed morning, and then suddenly you came through the drive-thru and you just ruined their day. I mean, just it affects people, and you have to think about that, because the more that you affect people in the wrong way, the more evil this whole world becomes. We all do our part, and you see all the nasty, vile stuff in this world, and all the hatred and anger towards each other. You see all of that, like it or not, every one of us, any one of you that think that you can say you're not in this, you're not part of it, you're sadly mistaken. Everyone has their part in this. Good or bad, everyone has their part in it. You want to make a change, start with yourself. Somebody's daughter working. No, it probably wouldn't go well. It probably wouldn't go well at all. But, you have to, at some point, you have to stop and ask yourself, when it doesn't go well, you have to stop and ask yourself, what did I do to deserve that? Did I deserve that? Well, considering the way you were being, yeah, maybe. Depends on how far they go with it. But you get what I'm saying? It's just bad practice to treat people wrong, to treat people bad. Just because you're having a bad day, you want to ruin everybody else's day. I have bad days all the time, and that is one thing that I fall short. I mean, I will get downright mad as all get out about something that I find out later on didn't mean a thing. And I kick myself in the butt for it every time I do it, because it's like, oh, come on, Tommy, you know better than this. But we all do it. But it's just a matter of, can we look into ourselves and see that? Can we own up to it when we are messed up, when we do bad things, and we we have closed our eyes to what God has said and opened up our ears to what the devil's whispering. You know, you know, you got to make the change in yourself. Some people don't want to change, and unfortunately, their fates are sealed. You know, the people that will not change and will not take correction, their fates are sealed. I mean, if you can't take correction from another human being, how are you going to take correction from God? When God sets his foot down and says, this is the way it's going to be, you ain't got no way of arguing about it. You ain't nothing you can do about it. It's a beauty in forgiveness. It's the beauty in picking up your cross and carrying your cross. You know what it means to pick up your own cross and carry it? You understand what that means? I wondered about that. I thought about that. I've thought a lot about that. You know, when you want to pick up your cross and carry it, you got to pick up all the burdens and all the sin that is in your life and own up to it. And say, you know what? This is my cross. This is the cross that I bear for everyone. The cross that Jesus bared for everyone saved everyone. The cross that you bear for everyone, what is it? Is it just you? Is it selfish? Is it just your thoughts? Is it just your desires? Do you have anybody else in mind? Do you think about anybody's feelings? Do you think about what anybody else is going through? You have to ask yourself that. Do you want to pick up your cross and carry it? Figure out what's on your cross. Figure out what your cross is made of. Figure out who you are. Can't treat people bad. You treat people bad, and you have no way. You have no right to complain when people treat you bad in return. You know, that's just the way the world is. The world is a fickle thing. The the world. There's a reason why we're supposed to live in the world but not be of the world. We are of the world, and everything that we wrap around us to block out God's beauty, that is the world around us, and we are of that world. I'm not of that world. I am not going to be of that world anymore. I won't be of that world anymore if I can help it. Now, am I going to fall short? Oh yeah, I'm going to fall short plenty of times. But you know what? I'll make a point to own up to it. I'll make a point to make it right. That's what picking up your cross and walking with it means. Bearing your own cross. That's what that means. Anyway, all right. Anyway, get emotional sometimes with that. I know you see the evil in the world and it just makes you cry. It makes you emotional because it's like, especially when you see it from that standpoint. Once you've done that, once you know who you are, and you know you know what you do, you know who you are, you know you. Once you get to that point, it's just then you see all the things that people do, and it's hurtful. It bothers you because it's like, why treat another man differently because I think different? We are all God's creatures. We are all made, and we are magnificently designed by God himself. People choose to take that free will and go the opposite direction. They listen to that little voice whispering in their ear. And they need to pluck that devil off their shoulder and go on with a righteous life. But that is the most difficult thing in the world to do. It's got to be the most difficult thing I've ever seen. I must be I must be getting boring. I'm losing people very quickly. Anyway, I've been on here 2 hours. That's probably why. Love you guys. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. And remember to keep your prayers going. Your prayers, what you think they're for. They are for that relationship. God already knows what you do. God already knows what you're thinking. He already knows how sorry you are for what you do. He already knows how you feel. He already knows everything. That talk with God every day, multiple times a day or continuously, is a foundation of a relationship. And without a relationship with God, there is no hope for humanity. Love you guys. Y'all have a blessed day and be good.